Donnie, can you tell us a little bit about you and your background?
Sure. Well, I started with the company back in 1980, so I've had a 36-year career in the food business. It's been a great experience because I really had the opportunity to have several different careers, but all within the same company. So I started off in poultry production. From there, moved into commodity purchasing, so buying the grains, working with the railroads and that sort of thing. And from there, had the opportunity to get involved in supply chain management. So I learned a lot about logistics and how important logistics is to a business. From there, the career sort of moved around a little bit. I had some computer systems and technology stuff going on for a few years, and then ended up in our retail business and then in food service before becoming the company's CEO.
Wow. Just for the viewers watching from around the world, could you give us a sense of the size of the company, the portfolio, Tyson Foods?
Yeah, Tyson Foods has sales of around $40 billion US today, maybe a little more. The company has about 125,000 team members around the world, most here in the US. It's primarily a protein-based food company with beef, pork, chicken, and then a segment called prepared foods, which could be anything from lunch meat to a pizza topping to the pizza crust itself. So very diversified food company with a very broad reach. In America today, about 1 out of every 5 pieces of beef, pork, or chicken would be produced by Tyson Foods.
That's awesome.
It's a big company.
It's a big company.
Yeah.
And I hear, ever since you left and you've leaned into Africa, you've been more active.
Yeah.
Why Africa and why now? And could you tell us a little bit about your projects in Africa?
Yeah, so my heart's been in Africa a long time. I can't remember not having some sort of draw or affinity for the continent. In about 2010, 2011, God kind of stirred my heart and my wife's heart to get involved and try to help. Now, being involved in a food company, naturally hunger is an important part of our family's fabric. And so through a connection from a great group called Bridge to Rwanda, we began a work. We created a foundation called the African Sustainable Agriculture Project, and we began a work in Rwanda to help farmers at the very base of the pyramid create an opportunity for themselves to have a sustainable business. If you talk about sustainable agriculture, you're really talking about commerce. Can you create a business that
Yes.
will sustain itself?
Absolutely.
Right? I remember a meeting with the Minister of Agriculture, and my initial idea was to do some demonstration farms and that sort of thing. But what she really needed was a feed mill. And so we built the first commercial feed mill in the nation of Rwanda. It opened in 2014. Today there's about 4 feed mills, and so farmers in America now have several different choices in being able to find the feed they need to feed their livestock. And it's so important. There's so much potential in the genetics, but if you don't have good feed, it's kind of like fuel for a race car, right? You've got to have quality feed to get the potential out of those genetics. So that's sort of a base ability that a farmer needs to be successful. Following along that, we were in the commercial layer business, so table eggs, and some of those get sold to a group through the Anglican Church called oneegg.org. Great organization, and what they do is understanding that many preschool children in Rwanda, but in lots of other geographies around the world, they really don't get protein. And so that stunts the physical and cognitive development, right? And so One Egg's mission is to use an egg a day at preschool to get that 7 grams of protein into those children. And it's remarkable how much 7 grams of protein a day will do for the cognitive and the physical development of young preschool children. We've just recently, through a grant with USAID, started a new project around broiler chickens, so the chickens that you actually eat, right? And again, it's focused on the base of the pyramid, where we provide the initial capital that they need to build the coop, or we actually build the coop for them and provide them all the equipment they need on what is essentially a 3-year no-interest loan. Right? And then they will get a micro loan for the reoccurring costs, the feed, the chicks, that sort of thing. And then at the end of the grow out, then they'll make, pay off their micro loan and then make a capital payment. And then the money that they have left over can go towards things like school supplies, medicine, improving their diet, which is a huge factor in what we're trying to do, is to help get more protein into the Rwandan diets. So off to a good start. Great partners with University of Tennessee, where I went to college, and USAID, and of course ASAP Zamora. So those are the philanthropic efforts that we're doing. But also this year, we as a family decided to become commercially involved in Africa as well. Now, with my background in the poultry business, it sort of made sense for me to be in poultry. And with a company called Buchan, which is actually based out of Mauritius, but it's managed out of South Africa, we have a business that basically sells day-old chicks and feed and the supplements that a farmer might need, again, to those growers at the base of the pyramid. So we may be selling 100 chickens and 2 bags of feed, at a time, versus a large integrated, business that we may be more familiar with in the U.S. So have begun the investment. We're beginning to expand our operations in Tanzania, and I'm really, really excited about helping create affordable food solutions in Africa. It's so important.